Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Sarah James. How are you?
Sara Oehler, it is so nice to see your face this morning, both of you.
It's
Good
bright and
morning. Good
early here in
morning.
California.
Yeah.
So everyone tuning in. This is Jesse James Beats Thursday Celebrity Spotlight. We are live here with Sara Oehler and Kristen Fagan from Sawflex Company. They are located out of California, and we were laughing last night as we were texting each other, the three of us, about how early this Facebook Live is, particularly for those that are in California. So thank you for starting your morning with us here.
Yes. I
No
was laughing.
problem.
I looked at this time and go, ooh, I'm not usually able to be seen this early in the morning.
Especially not during pandemic times when we don't have to be seen till afternoon. Don't usually
I
get ready
roll
in
out
the
of
morning.
bed,
So this is really
get
a
all my
special
stuff
treat.
going.
It's a really special treat to have you guys here. And also, it makes me think about all of our West Coast fans that are here in the Jesse James community and the Softflex community. Like, dang, this time must be early for you. So we'll the next time we have you guys on, we'll do something in the afternoon so we can maybe feel a little more alive. But I'm really I feel excited just having just being able to share this screen with you guys. So it's wonderful to
I'm
have.
looking forward to starting the day beading. So it's an unusual situation, but anytime I get a chance to bead and twice in a day, I'm doing 2 videos today where I get to bead, then I feel like I've won. So thank you for inviting us on. We're happy to be here, even if we are poking some fun at you about the time.
I think you make a really good point that, well, we get to start the day beading. And that feels like a good creative jolt, a little
I
creative
was
jolt.
thinking that as well. Yep.
It's
Totally a great
refreshing.
jolt to
It's
start the
not
day.
something I
Yeah.
do very often. Like I looked at the beads this morning and I thought, oh, this is going to be kind of nice. It's like when you get up and exercise in the morning all of a sudden and you're like, wow, why don't I do this more often? It feels so good. That's kind of how I'm feeling this morning.
Yes, wonderful. Well, as people are tuning in, I was we've been doing this thing on Thursdays, and typically Thursdays is very one-sided. We just have one person here. But I was excited to bring you both on the stage because you two are beaters. You're both very involved with Softflex, and you're best friends.
Yeah, she's definitely one of my very best friends, and I don't know what I would do without Kristen. I just don't.
We totally share a brain sometimes, for sure.
Tell the Jesse James crew here how you guys met. How long have you been friends? Like, what has beading meant for you within this beautiful relationship, this beautiful best friendship?
Kristen and I met working at a bead store, and we met in the lunchroom, and we would make each other laugh so hard that everyone in the whole bead store, it was a big bead company. It was a catalog bead company. So it wasn't just like a small bead store with a few workers. There's probably a dozen people that work there. And we would just pull everybody to the lunchroom at lunch because they would hear us giggling and they would want to know what was going on in there. I have no idea what we were giggling about. I still don't sometimes.
Most of the time, yeah, we just giggle. I mean, we just enjoy each other's company and find each other hilarious. And they would come in and be like, "What's going on?" And we're like, "We're just having lunch. What do you mean? Like, what are you laughing at?" "We don't know." Like, this is just how we interact. And so we've been friends ever since. And that was like, I want to say 18 or so, 20 years ago. And then Sarah was working for Softflex at the time and this bead store. And then she decided to just go straight with Softflex full time. And then she pulled me over.
Yeah, so they made me the marketing manager. And I said, we really need a graphic designer. And I know just the right person. And so I helped hire Kristen, and she's been my my work wife ever since.
Oh my gosh.
For sure.
So we're gearing up for Valentine's Day. We've got some tricks up our sleeve for next week. And our whole team was just like, rather than Valentine's Day being like a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, lover sort of situation, like this should be a day to celebrate our girlfriends. And there's so many friendships that I see throughout the beading community, even if they're just online friendships. And I think it's so beautiful how we come together on this commonality. Like you love beading, you're both at a bead store, you become friends in the lunchroom. Then Sarah's got a job opening at Softlex. So she says, hey, I know the perfect person. And then your friendship and your relationship just continues on. And here you are 20 years later, same, but different,
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, so much has changed, but yet a lot of things are still the same. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and I think Valentine's Day is a great day to celebrate every kind of love. And there's so many different kinds of love that you can celebrate. But friendship is a big one, especially coming out of the year we just did. I think we can all agree that, having your friends and your family to support you even from afar is just so important and something to be celebrated any opportunity that you get.
Yeah, this year where we've lost so much, whether it's like, the way of life that we're used to, or, just life. Yeah, just life as we've known it. But when you really break it down, if you've still got your friends and your family here, you're rich in so many ways. So
definitely.
Very true.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm sentimental in this morning hour.
That's us, all heart here, right, Sarah?
That's right, all heart. Jesse James Beads, you know it. That's been our signature line. That's been our signature line at Jesse James Beads ever since we started the .com. Ever since we started our e-commerce, jessejamesbeads.com, and we sign off all of our emails all heart because we care about you guys. We're humans on this end, as everyone is humans back behind the computer screen or in front of your beading table, and just putting our hearts out there, and we hope to get the same back.
Yeah.
I was just listening to a podcast called Call Your Girlfriend, and it was just talking about this in particular, like cultivating those friendships and how to keep them going. And this just made me think like us beaders should take it another step further. Send your girlfriend jewelry, like, send them a nice note and jewelry. And what a great time for Valentine's Day to be thinking about doing something like that.
You know what? I love that, Kristen. We at Jesse James Beads have done the Jesse James Beads Love Mail group, where we have a group on Facebook.
Oh, it's so cute. We've seen that.
Signs up, and then we pair you up with a beading buddy, and then you can communicate with them and just have a new friend. And then at the end of the program, we send a piece of jewelry. So we're going to do this again for Valentine's Day. And I would love it if you two would be part of the Jesse James Beads Love Mail group.
How cool. That's wonderful.
Count me in.
Definitely.
Okay,
count
cool.
me in too.
I'll get you more information as we roll on into February.
Okay.
That's good.
And as we roll on into this hour, Kristen, I couldn't think of a better segue into the color theory, colored wire plus colored beads tutorial that we're going to do today than the beautiful colored background that we're looking at in your screen. Like, look at those paintings. Kristen.
Boom. Lots of color. I just rearranged my wall and right before the new year to put up a whole bunch of new stuff behind me. And a lot of people have commented, so I'm glad that, it's bringing some color joy through the screen into your rooms. Thank you.
It totally, totally is. And it's a perfect match with this Softlex. Sarah, you'll have to tell us more about exactly what this Softlex colored wire is. But when I think of Softlex, this is what I'm thinking of, is this beautiful coated wire that comes in this array of colors. It's great for letting the wire show through your jewelry project, and it matches really, really well with the beads we're going to be using today. So Sarah, can I have you take it away and tell us a little bit about the wire and maybe show us a few?
Sure, yeah. Let me flip it down and we will take a look here. So just 1 second on my.
I will say that a lot of times I'll look at a painting and I will see a Trios wire pack. Like, especially like this one up here. I was like, that's Neon Nights right there. Like, it's totally Softlex. green turquoise and pink and yellow. And so it's pretty funny how, you know, the colors overlap in my beading world and my art world.
I love that. Yes, what Kristen is talking about is Softflex sells their wire on their website in these sets of 3. We have them on Jesse James Beads just as singles, but when I first fell in love with Softflex was at Bead Fest years ago, like probably like 2013 years ago or 2012, maybe even 2011. And I went into this booth and they had these really beautiful spools of colored wire sold in sets of 3. And I just felt like it matched so well with what I wanted to do with the beads when I would make jewelry during slow parts during the show. And then years later, I got to meet you guys and we've gotten more entwined with Softflex. And it's just been, it's just been really cool to see the wire with the beads and also just remember my first instance with you guys.
Oh, yeah. It's, you know, color has such a strong pull for people. It like really, you know, it brings back memories. It's something that just can bring you lots of joy when you look at a certain color, or calm and peace when you're looking at another color. And so it's really fun to be able to pair the wire and the beads and either complement monochrome or go the opposite, contrast, you know, and really play up all the fun it is to work with different colors. It's just another thing in your palette to have the wire and the beads all working together.
Absolutely.
I feel like it completes the design, and that's what we were really looking for when we created the colors. You know, originally when I started at Softflex, there were 12 colors, and we still have many of those colors, but they were really primary or set colors that they didn't always attract my attention. And we didn't use them a lot because it was a little difficult. It was like, you know, the bright pink, which is really beautiful when you mix it in with something, but it was hard for me to visualize at that time how I would do that. And when we expanded the color line and we added some more colors that were more based on gemstones, those colors, the originals, actually started to pop out to me a lot more than they had originally, because I could see a whole spectrum, I guess. And then also just playing around with the color wire as you do it, it really changes your perception of how jewelry can be made. And I think that also can lead itself to making all sorts of things where the color is showing and part of the design, but the beads are still there too. So it's such a great marriage between Softflex and Jesse James beads, because we both bring color and we can put them together in such a beautiful way. I made this yesterday on the Softflex company page using our Pink Rotochrosite. And this is a great example of how you can showcase the wire in a design and still have those wonderful, beautiful beads there too, to give you a little bit of sparkle and dimension. But colored wire can be used in a billion different ways. It can be strung just under the beads and then add color to the beads themselves. So for example, in that same design, you can see in the clear crystals there, that pink just kind of peeks out. And that's true with gemstones or anything where you're trying to add a little bit of color. So Softflex is a 49 strand stainless steel beading wire. I think Sarah was asking me a little bit about what it's made from. It is a marine quality stainless steel that will never rust, corrode, oxidize, or change. Our braid is different than most braids in the industry. It's a proprietary braid. It's a 7x7 strand braid. So that means that we have 7 wires braided, and then we have 7 of those bundles braided. And then we have it all coated in a nylon coating, and we dye the coating to match the color that we want. So as long as your nylon is intact on your wire, you'll always have that beautiful color showing through. And we have right now about 19 colors. And Jesse James Beads has a great color collection that they just picked up on their website. So many of the colors you're going to see today that we're looking at with the beads, you're going to be able to purchase those with the beads right on the Jessie James Beads website. Is that right, Sarah?
That is 100% correct. And actually, this is what we're looking at right here as a bundle. We just, we like to bundle it at Jessie James Beads, put all the beads together. And we have 20% off on bundles right now. I think Danielle's on comments. So I'll have her drop that link there and I'll mention it again at the end of the live. But yeah, all of these mini mixes, they're so cool. There's so many beads and fun little bubbles to play with in them. I think each of them has close to 100 pieces. The beads are so tiny. And when we were planning this Facebook Live, Kristen, Sarah, and myself, I was like, man, Softflex has got this beautiful colored wire and we have these beautiful colored beads. They really together to make monochromatic jewelry. Or if you wanted to, find a bead like a complementary color or a contrasting color, there's a lot of color theory that can be talked about with these very colorful bead mixes and the colorful wire, as Sarah just showed us.
Yeah, definitely. There's some really beautiful mixes in here. Like I was looking at this pink. I'm really into pink right now because Valentine's Day is coming, I think. So it's just like an automatic grab for me. But I was looking at this beautiful pink. It's called Pink Dragon Fruit. And I was thinking how great it would be with the pink rhodochrosite. Such a beautiful complement. And then there's also a great purple. This one is Vibrant Iris. And I know we've got some major purple lovers out there that would love to work in these colors here. So the purple is just a little darker, but that's perfect because it gives you just a little bit of contrast. Even if you're going monochromatic, you want things to kind of still stand out. So like these lilac tassels here are just going to pop right off this dark purple color. I also was looking at this one with the garnet would be really, really stunning. This is the Bing Cherry.
They match so well.
So well. Yeah, really, really beautiful. And of course, they've got black and white. So white will make clear crystals just sparkle like there's no tomorrow. So this is a great set. This is the sugar crystal with the white quartz Softflex. And then I have one more. And Kristen may be doing this one. Remember. Do I have it? Yeah, the antique brass with this one. Ah, so pretty. Mars Capone. Oh, I love this one. Is this the one you're using, Kristen? Mars Capone?
I am not. I am using the coffee bean is what I've got going
perfect
on.
for first thing in the morning.
Exactly. And that's funny, like you, I was also looking at Mars Capone. That was one that I got really close to using. I knew you would love that one.
I love it.
And I thought that it looked fantastic with the champagne. This is the extreme champagne.
Yeah, it matches your nails.
Oh, it does.
It does.
Just throw your nail polish right in there.
I pulled out a couple of my favorites too. There were some, it was hard to decide which one to play with today. I ended up just having to break a couple open and see what called me. But this Earl Grey one, oh, this is a stunner. And I thought this looked really interesting with the antique brass because it's got sort of those gold specks in there. I also thought that one could go with the dark blue lapis,
Gosh, so pretty.
which that is super pretty. It kind of makes the gray a little more on the blue side.
Yeah,
it pulls it kind of towards the blue.
It looks so different when you hold up those different wires to it.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, let's do that again. Let's show that one more time, right? So there's the antique brass, and see how it kind of pulls it more to that like warm gray tone, and then when you do the blue, you really pull it out more to the blue, like the cool gray tone. Very neat.
It's kind of like painting, Kristen. You know,
Yeah,
your background color,
right?
Your background color matters.
It does. It makes a difference on your eye, how you're going to look at it. And this one,
that's the one I'm using.
Another one. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Did you?
It was this one or mascarpone I kind of pegged for you, Sarah.
Yeah.
But look at that with
Oh my gosh.
with the fluorite and the green turquoise. So pretty.
Donna
Really
Mosley
pretty.
chimed in and she said that she loves the Earl Grey mix and she has both colors of soft flex wire. Donna, you gotta
Yes.
Post something.
what you make.
Yeah.
Yes, we got to see that, Donna.
Okay, so who wants to start? We're gonna do a little creative time. I've got Kristen spotlighted right now, but I can just as easily go back to Sarah.
I'm happy to do an earring, or Kristen, you can go first. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll just show you guys before you pull me off here. This is what I'm gonna make with you today. So we are combining the coffee bean with the black, and we'll make this little like tassel pendant on here. So while you spotlight Sarah, I'll pull this apart and then we can put it back together.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, Sarah. Next
Hello.
spotlight.
I made a really quick earring yesterday on Instagram Reels.
Ooh.
And I am going to remake it here in full. So you only have 30 seconds on a reel. So I didn't get to show the whole step by step. So I'm going to do it here on this video and do it in this new color palette. So I'm using the Swiss Chard color palette. And then I have got the fluorite colored soft flex beading wire, one of my favorite colors. So I'm going monochromatic today and doing some matchy colors, but I think it'll be really fun. And I was just kind of playing around in here looking for the right beads to put into the center, but there's so many beautiful beads in this mix, like these big bicones. There's these beautiful tassels. This is totally my color. Like Kristen said, she knew what I would gravitate towards.
Dragonfly.
There's a lot of sparkles in here, like big sparkles too.
I was so close to using that one. I'm glad I didn't because we would have both ended up on the same color. But those dragonflies were
I made you tell me your color.
That's true. You did make me tell you, so you knew.
Because Kristen's more of a planner. So I was like, you just tell me what you're planning and then I will work around it. So I probably would have chosen the other one that you thought I'd choose had you chosen
I chose
one.
that one.
All right, let me grab out a couple of crimps and we will get going on this earring. So I'm going to string one of my soft flex 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes. And the only way this is going to not work is if I can't go through this. I think I should be fine. Since these are different beads, it should be okay. Okay, so I'm just going to ring back through all of those beads with my wire. So I'm going to go back through my crimp. I'm going to go back through all of the beads like so. And then I can pull it down. I did a double ring on Instagram, but it's totally not necessary. You can do a single ring and you can move it bigger or smaller just by pulling on the two sides and decide what size.
How much wire do you have cut for this size earring that we're making today?
How much wire did I cut?
Yeah.
I would say at least 6 inches, just to have enough wiggle room. You know, I have a ton of soft flex, so I don't worry about extra, but 6 inches is probably a good start, just to make sure you've got enough room to go back and forth to decide what size you want. Now, I feel like that's a little too tight, so I'm going to loosen it up. I feel like this is a really nice ring size. So I'm just going to pull my two wires together side by side inside of the crimp. I can even move these beads away if I want to, just to kind of get them out of the way. Use my magical crimping plier, which has a little divot on each side that's identical. And when you close it, it creates a dome. I'm going to center that crimp tube inside of my magical crimping pliers and compress. And the first time I should get what looks kind of like a little square. It should have 4 little corners. And then I'm going to turn it on its side and compress again. And I'm just going to go around and around, kind of tightening down the edge of that crimp tube into the wire. So it's nice and tight. And then I'm just going to trim my wire right off. And now the second side, I'm going to pull all of this back to that crimp so it's nice and snug. And then I'm going to do this on the other side too. So the big thing on the second side is you really want to make sure your crimp is centered inside your magical crimpers. It's easy to only get one side when you're right up against the beads. So make sure you get it right nice down into that little nook inside of the crimping plier and then compress. And I should get my little square, and then I can go in on the side and go around it from every direction till it's nice and tight.
We have a question here from Holly. Holly is asking, how would you do the double loop if you wanted to go around twice?
Yeah, the double loop, I just strung the beads through. One more time. So your beads have to be big enough if you're doing the double loop to go through the beads 3 times. So it's actually going through here 3 times. I was a little nervous on these beads that I wouldn't pass through a 3rd time, but it's a similar design.
So you would just
similar.
Cross it up. You would just take them and cross them at the top and then string it through once more.
Yeah. So when I strung my wire back through the beads, I'd go around another time.
I see.
And then crimp. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to open up my ear wire. Slide this on. And now if you wanted to, you could even make it a double ring. You could make another ring of beads or just a ring of wire and hang it up above to add just a little bit more decoration. So if I wanted to take this little bit of extra soft flex, just make a little ring. Can add a bead or don't add a bead. It's totally up to you. I'm going to go no bead on this one and just make a smaller little piece that can fall in the center here. And what's nice about the way that this crimps is it'll look like a little metal bead. And because of gravity, it'll just kind of pull it down.
You know what? That is exactly something that I wanted to even see closer up to the camera. The way that this crimps, it really turns that crimp bead, or is it a crimp tube? Or
tube. Yeah, it's a tube initially, and it makes it into a bead shape.
Yeah, that is really different because you don't have to worry about a crimp cover or anything like that. It's your crimp becomes part of your design.
Right. Yeah. No, and it looks very finished. So then I can just add that on there too if I wanted to. And you could do multiple colors. I think Kristen's done like a whole rainbow of them before, where you do a bunch of different colors of wire. But you can do it with beads too. You can do, a bunch of different rings with different colors of beads. So you can choose a few shades that go together. Like I know the yellow is really popular this year because of the Pantone color of the year. You do like the yellow and the clear, and then maybe this one up here, and find a few beads from each mix. And then use a different color of wire and make like a little rainbow effect.
Yeah, like an ombre even.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like some
huge
complex door, like what do they call them? Door knocker earrings with multiple soft flex rings in every color of the rainbow with a little bit of Jessie James under each one. That would be.
I guess I know what I'm going to be doing today.
So true.
Angela Miller says that she loves the 2 circles on the earring, and I really do too. They're so like just whimsical, and I mean that's not going to pull your ear down when you wear it. It's really, really cute looking.
Thank you. It's really light. Yeah. If you don't put a ton of beads, you just pop a few beads on, and then look at how many beads I have left. So imagine how many pairs of earrings I can make if I'm using this bead mix. I can make tons of earrings using soft flex.
Oh my gosh, if you get that bundle. So Sarah James, you were saying that bundle, is that all of these colors?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How fun.
I called Danielle literally 30 minutes before this live. I said, hey, Danielle, is our bundle for the mini mixes restocked? And she's like, it's not, but it can be. So she went and got a photo of it. This bundle is fresh on the Jesse James market. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 colors. And there's 20% off today with the code, I believe it's Color Theory, one word. We'll confirm that.
Wow. That you would have every color to play with. That's the way to go.
When I opened the box, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
These beads Sarah sent me. I know.
Well, you guys,
I thought the same thing.
So Softflex sends us all of the wire so that we can put bead mixes together to go with the monthly Softflex mystery program. I'll have you guys tell us a little bit about that before we go. But for now, I'm going to flip over to Kristen because I see that she's making some stuff and I want to close it.
I did. I was starting to get antsy.
Oh, sorry.
Had to get, no, not at all. Just once you see friends beading, you have to start beading too.
Right.
Okay, before I show you what I'm doing, I'm just going to show you some of these beads out of the mix. So these are the ones I didn't end up using yet in this design. So you see, I still have quite a bit left even after I make my necklace. But you've got all of these really fun creamy and brown tones. And I think someone mentioned in your group, and that's actually what kind of gravitated towards the brown, how they were surprised when they had a friend pick out some jewelry that they chose all browns. And then there was like a whole thread of people talking about how they love brown jewelry and maybe they don't make enough of it. So I think that sort of inspired my coffee bean a bit here today. So you've got these really pretty.
I really love that you're making coffee tone jewelry with us, really enjoying our coffee this early morning.
Yes, early morning coffee.
Perfect.
So these are like a little red and brown, and then you've got some creams in here, which are really pretty. So you could take this. I went with the black wire because I just really dig like black and brown together, and this bead was totally calling me. So that was my inspiration.
Cool.
But you can easily go with the bone too, and that would be really, really nice together. That would pull it. So I was kind of going back.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a little lighter.
Yeah. So what we're going to do first is we're going to make this little tassel here. And all of these beads are in the mix. So they have these little copper leaves, and then they're strung on Softflex. And using the magical crimper, I made all these little, what we call like Softflex head pins. So that's what we're going to do first. So you need about 3 inches or so. This is plenty. I have more than I'll probably need. So what you do is you just create a little Softflex head pin with that charm at the bottom. I have this one here I'm just starting on now. So you have the crimp tube. You string on the charm, you go back up through the crimp tube, and then using the magical crimping plier, you just got to get that crimp right in the center on these pliers. It does take a little practice, so be patient with yourself if this tool is new to you. But the key is to get the crimp right in the center, give it a good squeeze. It'll pinch the 4 corners of your crimp. You'll turn it 90 degrees, put it back into the center, crimp again, and then I like to roll the crimp in that cavity a few times. So I'm sort of pumping and squeezing. And then that turns your crimp into this beautiful little bead.
That is adorable.
So cute. And then you just trim off the little excess wire I've got here. And now I have a Softflex head pin. So I have two that are about 3 inches, and then I have one a little bit longer because this one's going to go up through this bead and be our connection at the top. So this one I just made like another inch or so. So you string your charm on the Softflex, then you put on your crimp tube, and then you take the other end of the wire and go back up through your crimp tube. And pull that straight down. And you can play with the different sizes of your loops at the bottom. I know sometimes I've seen our friend Nile like make some really big loops at the bottom, or you can have little petite loops. You can use different colors of wire. If you wanted to do this with a few different colors, that would be fun too. So that you have a few.
Love seeing you guys make components with Softflex wire because it really gives us a lot of creative inspiration on where this very flexible, flowy, fluid wire can go.
Right?
It doesn't just need to be for stringing.
Totally. So now I'm just going to gather all 3 of those that I made together, and I'm going to string them down this bead here. And you need a bead that's got a hole, you know, big enough to fit all these little wires.
Cute.
And I've got one a little bit longer in the center, and then I've got the 2 kind of pulled up closer. And now I'm going to take another crimp and I'm going to string it down all 3 here and crimp that in place.
Kristen, Barbara Beasley McLean is asking, what size tube are you using for this particular project with the magical crimpers?
Oh, good question, Barbara. I am using 2 by 2 millimeter Softflex crimp tubes. They are the only size that works with the magical crimper. The magical crimper was made specifically for the 2 by 2 millimeter crimp tube. And you want to make sure you're using a good quality crimp tube. Softflex are double the wall thickness of most on the market and seamless. That's really important with crimping. You need a quality crimp tube. They are not created equal. So when using a 2 by 2 millimeter crimp tube, you can get up to 3 wires of Softflex medium 019, which is what I'm using. And sometimes it could be a little bit of a snug fit, but you can get up to 3 in there. So all 3 of my little Softflex head pins fit through that crimp. And now I'm going to crimp that closed. And really, you'll see I'm using a lot more wire than you need. So this is a great project for little wire remnants even. I always hold on to remnants of wire when I'm working on projects. Something like this could totally come in handy when you've got little remnants lying around.
I love the way the wire looks, even just like spouting out, spiking out from that bead. I feel like
Isn't that cute? I know, you totally could turn it up this way and do something like that too.
Yeah, totally. Or make like some wire art, like if you wanted to do something beyond jewelry making, do some really funky, colorful art with the wire.
So I'm going to cut off those 2 little tails, and I just left the longer one. And then I'm going to string on another bead and another crimp. And I'm going to make my loop attachment for the top. And I'm just going to take this wire, go back down through that crimp tube. Scoot it down towards my bead. Make sure I'm happy with my loop size before I crimp. And then this will be the loop that connects to your necklace or even to a pair of earrings. This actually started as a pair of earrings.
Yeah.
That was the initial thought process. So,
That's Suzanne
and then
Brown
at the last minute.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Suzanne Brown says
No,
that
that's okay.
she loves this earring, Kristen. And Suzanne, this is
Yes.
head, but what a cool earring would that be?
So I have a pair of ear wires here, just so we can kind of put one on an ear wire.
Yeah.
And check it out as an earring first. So now if you wanted to make 2 earrings and have the pendant, you'd have to pick up 2 of these coffee beans just so you have the right amount of beads. But so cute as an earring.
So cute.
Yes.
And then the other option, which I was doing here, was just to, instead of attached to an ear wire, just string it on to another piece of Surflex right in the center between the beads you're working with. And now you have a pendant.
Do you know what I have to say I really love about this project is you girls have your crimper tool and you have your wire and you have your beads and that's it.
Yeah, it's just a cutter, a crimper, and crimps, that's it.
And the crimps, right. But
Yeah.
like if you were going to be beading on the road, say you were, going on vacation, like maybe a year from now, we can all do that again.
Someday. Actually, road trips are not terribly bad, right? Because you can go someplace pretty
we've been camping.
Alone.
Yeah, it just depends on where you're going.
So if you were traveling or maybe, you didn't have your entire workshop of beading supplies with you, you could take just a spool of wire and some beads, one tool and some crimp tubes, and you could have just a little bit of a creative getaway. Without having to bring all of your supplies with you. I never realized that about Softflex. This is cool.
Yeah, you don't need a lot. You really don't to get going, And sometimes it's nice to really simplify what you're working with.
We often keep it simple too, because we want anybody to be able to approach our projects, even if you're a beginner, we want you to be able to do it too.
So now I'm just stringing up the same pattern that I did on the other side. And if you got a handy dandy bead stopper, you can kind of stick that in place to make sure you don't drop and lose all your beads. But I'll just give you guys a close up to see what else. These are all from the coffee bean mix.
Thanks for the shout out. Gosh, it's so pretty.
So pretty.
So nice.
All right. What are you working on over there, Sarah?
Oh, I just decided to make a bracelet.
Yeah, see, I told you, you can't sit and not bead, right?
Yeah, no, I have a very hard time just making one thing and not a set of things. I can almost not stop myself from making earrings to go with a bracelet or bracelet to go with earrings or a necklace. I can't stop myself. So I moved on to making a bracelet.
I love it. Is it the same color wire as in your earrings, Sarah?
Yeah, I used the fluorite wire again. I just took some of those beautiful beads from that Swiss chard mix that I had left over from making the earrings and put them into a bracelet. And just look at how pretty that is.
I love it. I love our glass beads so much. I'm really glad that you guys are
so sparkly.
You have no idea how much it means to myself and also the Jesse James team. Stacy, who is the designer who puts our sets together. When we hear the designers and the celebrities from our industry going goo goo gaga over our beads, it just makes our hearts it makes our hearts take flight. So thank you.
You guys do a great job. We're always so happy to work with you on our kits, and you always hit it out of the park. So, and you did a great job with this collection of beads as well.
Thank you.
100%.
So I'm just crimping my
such a
clasp
fun-
on. And now I'm just cutting my wire. Go ahead, Kristen.
I was going to say, I just always really appreciate the textures and the different types of beads that are put in your mixes between the sparkly beads, the metal beads, the boho, things like this that just, you know, there's always something that really grabs me as unique and special whenever I work with any of your mixes.
Yeah, I didn't even get into the dragonflies, which Kristen was talking about in this cute little mix here. Ooh, I should hang one of these little dragonflies off my toggle.
So cute.
You can even hang charms are really cute to hang on those loopy earrings too.
Oh yeah, that would be cute.
Hang a charm on the inside and then the loop around, or at the bottom of the loop. Yeah, there's so many options.
So if you do get in this situation where you're like, ooh, I want to add a charm and I don't have a matching jump ring, you take your little snippet of soft flex, you string it through your charm, if I can pick it up, string it onto your clasp or wherever you want to attach it, and your crimp, 2x2 soft flex crimp, go back into your crimp and create a little soft flex jump ring. So it's just like the ring I used here, but this time I'm attaching something. So I can make a little ring, and then I have a matching ring. It's very strong. It's going to hold on to that little charm. Make it a little bit smaller, and you just crimp it.
Sarah always likes to kind of pick on me because I do use jump rings a lot, and they aren't the best because they can come undone, and I really should use more soft flex jump rings.
I've come around though. I use more jump rings than I used to. I used some on my bracelet yesterday. Did you see that?
I don't think oh yes, I did see that, to connect the clasp. I did notice that. I think it's a little easier when you're connecting a clasp. Yeah.
There's times where it makes sense. And there we go. Now we've got our little connector there.
Better with my sizing. I think that was a biggie for me, is I used to use a lot of jump rings because I made something too small and I wanted to make it larger, or I was afraid I was going to want to change the size.
Right.
But I think as I've
a commitment issue going
on. I have a commitment issue. Yeah, that's exactly it.
If you go to a restaurant, Sarah James, with Kristen, it takes a very long time for her to commit to her dinner order.
And you are from the same vibe in so many ways.
Has to look through the entire menu a few times to decide, and then she's still not sure. I almost always end up splitting something with her because I'm like,
I was just gonna say, pro tip, split a meal or do like apps with me. It's the best option.
I'm in, Kristen. So
that's what I've learned.
We can get together in Sonoma.
It's like a family thing. My family's all the same way. My sisters are the same way. We like, every time we go out to eat, it's like, you know, we're sharing it all, right? Like, it's just family style all the time. We all need to taste everything.
Oh, it's funny.
This has been really, really cool, guys, learning about all these different components that you can make with the wire. We did these really cool, Sarah, if you could hold it up again, the earrings. We made these really cool, like, connector ring earrings. So that would be considered a component. And then also the jump ring that Sarah just showed us, attaching a charm. Let's see that one. So cute. And then Kristen showed us how to make these, what she refers to them as head pins, soft flex head pins.
Yeah. And then the other thing too, on the end of my, I didn't show this one on camera, but when at the end of my necklace, I just create a loop at this end. So it just hooks right into the soft flex. So you don't need to have another component here. You just create your soft flex loop, hook that right in, and it's a very secure finish.
It looks nice too. It's like symmetrical on the back end.
Right, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, we love using Softlex in all sorts of different ways, and happy to share it with you guys.
All you guys are awesome.
Thank you for having us here today, Sarah James. This was so fun.
And put us back into gallery. Yeah,
it's gonna take me a minute here.
I don't know if everyone from Jesse James knows this, but I'm gonna make it known right now. Jesse James Beads designs bead mixes for Softlex monthly design kits. These are mystery sets that always have a theme and a color palette and a flavor to them. And you get Softlex wire and you get Jesse James mixes, and sometimes there's Sierra cast parts, and it's always a lot of fun what you guys put together. And then there's tutorials and unboxings and a contest every month, right?
Yeah, we have a new theme every month. It's a mixture of items, including a custom mix from Jesse James Beads. And we just really love doing it. And we end up using the beads throughout the month as we're watching all of our wonderful designers in our Facebook group post their pictures of their designs. And then one person wins the kit for the next month. So it's a lot of fun to see what everybody makes with the same set of beads and wire. And we try to put everything in it. So anybody who's brand new to beading, who's never beaded before, can join us too by just getting a couple of really basic tools and then a kit. And even the reveal date, which is the last Wednesday of the month, I try to only use mostly these two tools and the kit and nothing else. So if you're brand new and you're just starting out, you can join us and make the same thing I do, or you can go out on your own and make your own designs based on what I make, but not have to put too much of an investment in to get started.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice that you stick to that, Sarah. And I think it's very helpful for everybody to see what you can make with some really basic tools and just the kit. And the group, the Softlex VIB group, is where everyone posts their designs. That's one of my favorite things because I just love seeing how everyone approaches the same materials in a different way. I think it's so cool to see how everyone's brain tackles the challenge of what to make with that particular kit. I'm actually wearing the bracelet that I made with the metallic kit. Let's see if I can get it in there.
I'm spotlighting. So this is very cool, everybody.
This is a macrame bracelet. I can't tell if I'm in focus, so let me know if I'm not.
A little bit. You're a little out. Just pull back just slightly.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so these are all the beads from the Jesse James bead mix that was in the kit, the metallic sparkles kit, and then I used the antique brass wire to macrame it. And so you can really just see the macrame kind of towards the end, and there's just like one knot in between each bead. This was such a gorgeous kit, and they all are. Everyone, it's like they get better and better each time, and or at least we like to think that, I guess, but I feel like each time I'm always blown away with how it all comes together in the end and what all of you fantastic beaders do with all of those materials.
I'm really excited for you to receive the next kit. This one was really fun to put together, and there's some very cool bead materials that are in it. So that'll be great. I'm excited for everyone to receive it and for you guys to make some jewelry with it. It's a treat for us here at Jesse James.
Is that pretty as a peacock, that one? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that
it's coming up soon.
Sarah.
It's going to be really fun. Yeah, I'm excited
I
for
think
this.
that was the inaugural reveal of what the kit theme was, Sarah.
Yeah.
You heard it here.
You don't know what's in it yet.
You guys got a little sneak peek. You got a little sneak peek.
Yeah, I'm excited. We'll have our new kit themes over to you too, Sarah, so you can start cooking up what you guys are going to do on your end.
Yeah, we are doing like an overhaul of all the beads that we have at Jesse James and just kind of like finding some beautiful stuff that's been waiting in the room for us that maybe had been if we haven't seen in a little while. So this year, the designs that are coming from JJB is really quite exciting.
Oh, good. That's exciting to hear. Well, it's been so nice to spend my morning with you. I drank almost my entire cup of coffee, and and I have a bracelet and earrings to show for it. So that's good.
That's awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
so
it was
much.
a great way to wake up.
You guys are the best. Thank you for coming on and sharing different tricks on how to use beautiful soft flex fire. You make our Jesse James mini mixes look so good. And it's always a pleasure.
Right back at ya.
Yeah. It's easy to do when the beads are so beautiful.
Thank you very much. Well, I wish you girls a wonderful day. Everyone that's at home, I hope your Thursday is off to a great start. There is more excitement coming up at the Softflex Company page here on Facebook. They have Sam from Sam's Bead Shop live, so don't miss that one. And we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much again for a great morning.
Oh,
Thank
thanks for having
you.
us, Sarah. So nice to see you. Are you feeling better, by the way?
I am walking. I don't have my brace on right now. My knee surgery goes so well. It's amazing. Thank you for checking.
Good.
Hey, that's pretty quick, I think, isn't it?
I know, modern medicine, man. I'll tell you what. But being able to walk and go up and down the stairs and carry things with both hands is massive. So thank you for checking on me.
It's amazing. Yeah, those little things you take for granted, right? And now you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be walking.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal. All right. Well, take care of yourself. Thanks for having us here today.
Bye, ladies.
Yes, lots of love. Bye.